about just one day it happened. Thank you for the follow. There was a conversation happening. There was a conversation happening at the nervous system level. Un message, un texto here on TikTok, okay? So there was a conversation that was happening, but you were maybe not conscious of that conversation. I was gonna give you an example. Maybe you're a content creator or you are an author, and then you told yourself every single day, I'm gonna write for you. You're writing a new book, and I'm giving this might be a relevant question answer for me. I mean, example for me. So you told yourself every single day, I'm gonna write for 1 minute or 2 minutes or 3 minutes, whatever minute you want to put on there. You showed up the first time you wrote the book for that 5 minute. The next day you showed up again, you wrote it for the 5 minute, and the third day you were not able to show up because life happened, right? Life happened. But guess what? Just because you've done this in the past already, the nervous system will then be telling you it's gonna happen, meaning that you're not gonna show up. So life happened, and then day 3 you were not able to non, désolé, désolé, désolé. Pas maintenant, pas en ce moment. Okay? So life happened, then you were not able to show up on day 3. Now, this is usually what happened. When we end up not showing up, there is a conversation that is happening at the nervous system level. When you said you're going to show up and then you don't show up, there is a conversation that is happening at the nervous system level. That conversation turns into shame, a moment of shame. Then you start saying, I knew this was going to happen. I always do things like this. I start, then I stop. I never follow through. And then you start blaming yourself. What you're not understanding is anytime. Merci beaucoup. Merci beaucoup pour la réponse. Okay, so now this is the thing. Anytime you do not show up, anytime that you said you were going to show up and then you don't show up, there is a conversation at the nervous system level, right? I see you, yes. So there is a conversation at the nervous system level. So whenever you said you're going to show up, you show up. The nervous system files that. Whenever you said you're going to show up, you do not show up. The nervous system files that. Your brain files that. And then it's stored up at the subconscious level. Now, this is why the next time you said you're going to show up and then you show up or you don't, is because there is a conversation that is happening. And that conversation didn't just happen from nowhere. It started from the way you train yourself, the way you train yourself from the past. Okay? Let me give that example again. There are a lot of examples. One of the examples that I gave is because you might be an author. And you said, every day I'm going to write 1 page or I'm going to brainstorm every single day. That's what you told yourself. You showed up day 1. You were able to follow through. Day 2, you were able to follow through. And then day 3, you dropped the ball. You dropped the momentum. Let me tell you why. Day 1, you showed up strong. Day 2, you showed up strong. Day 3, you were already discouraged. And this is a pattern that needs to be fixed, because if that pattern is not fixed, you're going to keep repeating this pattern over and over again. And guess what? You are also repeating years. Anytime you keep living in the past, that means you're going to keep playing catch up every single week. You're going to, like a scalding hot pot, you're going to keep playing catch up every single week. That's why most people look forward to Monday, right? I know not everybody, but most people are looking forward to Monday because they tell themselves, I'm going to start over on Monday. So here you are, you're constantly repeating that pattern, starting over and over. Let me give you an example. One of my clients last week, in our session, while I was coaching her, because I'm an identity coach, while I was coaching her, she has a journal. She got a journal, an ebook. So she's like, Coach, I want to start over. She has been consistent with the journal for 6 days. And then she said, Coach, I want to start over, because she just realized that there is a part in the journal that she did not follow through very well. I told her, you don't want to start over. The reason is the brain has been wired to keep starting over. So the brain will give you suggestions and say, okay, you didn't do this part well. Why don't you start over? So anytime you're starting over, that's what the brain has been wired for. That's how the brain knows you as a starter. Not someone that follows through, not someone that finishes, but someone that keeps starting over and over and over. So now what is the trick? There's a trick around this, and there's a trick that I taught my clients. Okay, you don't want to be that person that keeps starting over. You need to trick the brain to know that even though it looks like I'm starting over, I'm not starting over. So whenever you drop the ball, because life happens and it happens all the time, the fact that you set a goal doesn't mean that life will wait for you. It's called life for a reason. It's called life because there is a movement. So life keeps moving, not because you have set a goal, then life will stop. Hello to people that are joining from the other side. I see you all. Thank you so much. By the way, for those who are watching on TikTok, I'm also doing this on another platform. Now, I'm going to speak in code because TikTok sometimes doesn't want us to talk about other platform, but I'm going to speak in code, okay? This is the biggest platform where you can watch replays. Okay, TikTok doesn't give that opportunity to watch a replay, but when you go on that platform, is the biggest and the largest platform everywhere. So when you go on that platform, thank you for the follow, you'll be able to watch the replay. And my name on that platform is Reset with Coach Chefi. I started doing the live together because people have been asking me, Coach, I want to watch this again because of the things that you're sharing. How will I be able to watch it? So when you go on that platform, it's YTB. Fill in the other words that I'm missing. Put that in there. When you go on that platform, it's Reset with Coach Chefi, right? Reset with Coach Chefi. Reset with Coach Chefi. Hey, True. Good morning, True. Happy Monday. Happy Monday. Eshe to you too. Thank you, my dear friend. So we are on the other platform. If anyone knows what I'm talking about on TikTok, please put it in so that people can go subscribe. Okay, well, I said it. Subscribe. Where do we subscribe at? On the other platform so that you can watch the replay. Now let's come back. Welcome, my dear friend True. Let's come back. Whenever we talk about self-sabotage, and I was saying that it's two words, the self and the sabotage. The self and the sabotage. The self and the sabotage. So here automatically you will understand that when we talk about self-sabotage, it's not a motivation problem. It's not a discipline problem. I know most of you, if you're on my live right now, especially here on TikTok, probably one day or once in your lifetime, you went and Google, how can I stop self-sabotage? How can I be consistent? Why do I show up and then I disengage? Okay. Or you might ask, why do I feel lazy? Why don't I do what I know I could do? Most of you know that you need to read for 5 minutes. You need to stop watching TV all the time, but you don't follow through and you're blaming yourself. If you've practiced self-sabotage for many years, most people, they live in shame, they live in blame, they live in self-rejection. So what are we talking about here? When we talk about self-sabotage, there is two words. If you're able to understand one, then you know the trick around it. For those who are just joining, welcome to the live. What are we talking about? How to fix the pattern in order to, how to fix the pattern so that you don't keep repeating the years over and over. Or how to train your brain for success. How to train your brain for success. Once you know the things that I'm sharing with you, when you're not going to show up, you're no longer going to show up partially, but you're going to show up mind, body, soul, spirit, all together. That's what is going to hold your hand. This is what builds your identity. This is what builds who you are. This is what gives you the hand to follow through, not just to show up, but you're showing up mentally ready, okay, emotionally prepared, spiritually empowered, and physically there to follow through. And I was sharing the example with you of my client in our coaching session. And this is someone who, has repeated moment of not showing up. So in our coaching session, toward the end of the session, it was even the end of the session, and she said, Coach, oh, I just realized this. With my journal, I've been consistent for 6 days, but I feel like I need to write more on the other days. Why? So I just want to start over. And I know that that's the trick of the brain. When you have not been consistent with showing up for yourself, even the least of the effort that you've made, the brain discard that the brain discard that. The brain doesn't consider that as you doing something. Thank you so much, Cup. The brain does not consider that effort, because you yourself, you have not considered that as doing anything yet. But you need to force the brain to understand that, no, if I showed up and I've been consistent for 6 days, that needs a celebration. Not you going out and celebrating, but you realizing that it's an effort that you've put in. So if, for instance, when she said, Coach, I want to start over, that's 6 days straight that she wants to start over. Do you see the pattern here? That is the brain. That's what the brain is used to. That's what the brain knows. So the brain, because right now at the brain level, she's only a starter. So the brain will bring excuses. The brain will let her know, okay, we're going to start the pattern again. So most of you, there is a loop that keeps repeating. That's the pattern of a starter. Okay? The starter continuously start over, because there is a lie. The lie is this: when I start over, I will do better. If you've ever believed this lie, when I start over, I will do better, put 1 in the chat, okay? If you've ever believed this lie, when I start over, I will do better, put 1 in the chat. My apologies to the YouTube people. I've been a starter all my life, and we're going to change that. Thank you. Yes, very good. Whenever you said, okay, very good. If you've ever said, when I start over, I will do better, put 1 in the chat. I see 1 already. Yes. Very good. That's the trick of the brain. And I'm going to show you how you can now take that same trick and use it so that your brain will help you. Hear me. I didn't say take that trick and use it against the brain. That which will help you into your next level is your brain. So the same trick that the brain has been playing on you because you gave it that power is the same trick you are going to use so that the brain can partner with you. Anything that God has given you, you need it. That's why God gave it to you. Your brain is your partner. The brain is going to partner with you. But right now, it looks like the brain is working against you because of how you fed the brain. You fed the brain so that the brain could only show up whenever, the brain only shows up, not this moment. Okay, so you have trained the brain to keep quitting whenever you're about to hit that momentum. So that's the conversation that is at the brain level. That's what the subconscious knows about you. So when, let's say you only show up for 6 days, day 1 already, okay, already day 1 you quitted already. Yes, you showed up physically, but mentally, emotionally, okay, and even spiritually, you already quitted. You already activated the brain to know that on day 6 we're gonna stop, because that's what the brain knows you for. And nature teaches us all this. So if you're wondering why am I not being successful, it's what you fed the brain. I was at an event this past Saturday. It's called Life Surge. And there were great speakers, amazing people in the church, great speakers. The guy from Shark Tank was there. Tim Tebow was supposed to be there, but he couldn't make it because there was a situation in his family. I mean, his dad wasn't feeling well. Great speakers were there. But there was a pattern that I've seen in everything that they were showing, they were saying, they were sharing. There were moments in their life where they could have given up on themselves. There were moments in their lives where it feels like the future, or it feels like nothing was going to change. Okay? But at the same time, when they were sharing their story, and that will be a moment of pain for most of them, and that's the moment of pain that you are going through right now too. So your moment of pain is what? Your pain moment is what? You have ideas, but you never follow through. Or you keep starting over, and now you're asking yourself, how can I change this? So in that moment when I was at that event, almost all the speakers, I believe we had at least 5 to 6 speakers. David Ortiz was there. He's a baseball player. He was there. So great men, great speakers, great figures, public figures were there, right? But you could see the pattern of pain in all their stories. The Shark Tank guy was there. You know what? Let me call names. It's better. Life Surge. Okay. So let's see who was there. So Tim Tebow was supposed to be there, but he couldn't make it. One moment. So that you can go look them up as well. Oh, of course. Max, what's his name? And I'm going somewhere with this story. Because we think when we are in our present moment, we think life is happening against us. I want you to be able to read the sign so that, because this is the thing, because you're carrying the image and the likeness of God in you, there will be a moment that will look like a challenging moment. There will be a moment, if you're comfortable, life will keep bugging you. By the way, that's what it is. When you're comfortable in your uncomfortability, life will keep bugging you until you break. Because the level that you are right now, that's not what you're supposed to be. There is more to you. Most of us, we have treated moment like this as a moment of motivation. That's why it doesn't land. And they hit some like they said something that was true. I was like, wait, the gentleman from the Shark Tank, I want to say his name. Life Surge. Bear with me. This is, let me see. Okay, very good. I got it. Patience is key. Now, for those who are just joining, what are we talking about? What do I talk about? Self-sabotage. How to stop sabotaging on your worth, how to stop sabotaging on your abilities, how to stop self-sabotaging on your deserve level in order to build an identity of consistency. If you keep sabotaging on what you're capable of doing, that's what is going to lead you not to be successful in life. Most people, when you hear about success, you have an idea about success, but you forget that success is first comes from your identity, is built from who you are. You're gonna see on the board. I know YouTube, you can see it well because I haven't mirrored it yet. But when you see on the board, there are 2 words: the self and the sabotage. One is existing because the other one is there. Okay, one is the mirror of the other one. So what am I leading you through? When we talk about self-sabotage, it's not because you're not motivated. You don't have a motivation problem, please. And take this from someone who is known as the motivational force. You do not have a motivation problem. You do not have a discipline problem. But what you have is what? Identity problem. That's why it's called self-sabotage. What is the self? The self is the person. Sabotage. So you're sabotaging on you. That's what it is. Okay? It might look like, of course, this is obvious. It says self-sabotage. No. We are used to words so much that we are no longer paying attention to what the word is carrying. Now, I was sharing about an event that I went on this, an event that I participated this Saturday. It's called Life Surge. Now, the people that were there is this. Let me see. We had authors and speakers. We had John Maxwell. Do you know John Maxwell? The well-known John Maxwell was there. Two-time national football champion Tim Tebow was scheduled to be there, but he couldn't make it because his dad wasn't feeling well. But it was amazing. Tim Tebow was there. Supposed to be there. Robert Herjavec. He is the star of Shark Tank. He was there. He said something. I'm going to share that with you. Bear with me. He said something. I'm like, wait, this is what was supposed to happen to me. But listen. So the star of Shark Tank, Robert Herjavec, was there. Who else was there? Ed Millett. I think it's Millet. Ed Millett. He was there. Who else was there? Sage Steele. Okay. And there were other people that were there. The Brennan brothers, they are twins. They were there. Look them up. And these people, they are 11-time Dove Award winning and Grammy nominated. But this is the thing, though. This is the thing. What separates us from these people is this. First of all, Ed Millett, he came from abusive home. His dad was alcoholic. Okay, all the abuse. Already at the age of 4, he was prepared to be the backbone of his family. Listen, you think that life is against you? No. So don't use this moment as a moment of motivation. But I'm speaking to use this moment as a moment of awakening. Everything that I'm saying right now, it's not that you've never heard it before. You've heard it before, but it keeps coming over and over because you heard it. You only use it as an information. Remember when I told you, most of you don't have a motivation problem? You are motivated to come on my live. You are motivated to watch other people's life. But what is changing? What is changing? Sometimes on my live, I'm going to be very harsh with you, not because I want you to feel bad, because I lived that life. I lived a life of shame because I wasn't showing up for myself. But when I told myself I matter, things were changing. So for some of us, because we are used to this, whenever information like this, they come in, you just only treat it as, actually, let me fix this. Whenever your invitation of transformation is coming in, you still treat it as information. You're still using this moment as an information. So most of you are stuck at that level of information. You are not moving forward. You're only treating this moment as information. So that's what is happening with most of you. So sometimes I'm going to be harsh. I'm going to be hard on you for a reason. Because I'm seeing me in you. I was stuck at that level. I'll come on live and just say, wow, she's good. Oh, wow, oh my goodness, he's talking to me. But what do you do after that moment? What do you do after the live? What do you do when the person has called you out? It's great when we are all celebrating life together. No, these people, if they also just said, okay, you know what? It has been said, this is what it's going to be. We will not be paying to go and listen to them. We will not be paying or we will not be following their YouTube page. For those who are just joining, there is a replay. Go on my YouTube page and the name is Reset with Coach Chefi. You're going to watch the replay. Please, every video that you watch, every live that you're on, you're right, Coach, we're still stuck in the same, I tell you, and I know the feeling, I lived it. So when I come on my live and I'm sharing, it's not something that I just learned. It's a lived experience. And I know the shame that comes with it. But guess what? You might even say, Coach, you're right. But right after this, because now we are in an era where A lot of things are there to help us, but if you have not trained yourself, the same thing that are there to help you will become your distraction. And that's what it has become distraction for most people. From Ed Mallet, thank you for sharing. From Ed Mallet to who? To Robert Hadjevik, he is the Shark Tank star. Robert, who else? Sage, John Maxwell, Tim Tebow, and also David Ortiz. All these people, they had moment where they could have quit. They tried, but they pushed through. If right now, please, I want you to make me a promise today. Anything that I'm sharing, if you find any value, promise to yourself. I know you're going to say, Coach, I've done that in the past. It didn't work. I have people like that. One of my clients, I said, okay, why don't you make a decision in this moment, knowing that the next 6 months that you're going to, the next 6 months is coming from this decision. She couldn't promise. And she said, I'm afraid. She said, I'm afraid. I said, why are you afraid? She said, because in the past. And she said, because in the past, I have promised, but I never showed up. But my question is, how long will you be promising and not showing up? If you don't fix the pattern. If you do not fix the pattern, you will keep living your current year in the future years. You keep repeating the same pattern over and over again. So I was saying, I want you to make a promise to yourself. And say either whether I make it or I make it or I make it or I make it. Now, once you make the promise, what do? Find someone that will hold your hand. The reason why you're afraid to, I know some of you, your heart is beating fast because in the past you did not show up. The reason why you are not showing up, that's why I said you don't have a motivation problem. You are motivated, but you don't have the resources to break that pattern. Because right now you are stuck at the starter level. That's how the brain has been trained. That's what the nervous system is used to be doing. So whenever you set a goal, the nervous system will still come and tell you, okay, that's your goal, but I know what you're capable of doing. So 3 days into your goals, you quit because that's what it is. You were doing it by yourself. But this time you have someone who's going to hold your hand. Look for an accountability partner. Look for an accountability partner. Look for someone in your community. There are a lot of people. Look for someone. Go on a Facebook page. Be part of a Facebook group and tell them, I'm looking for an accountability partner. What is that accountability? Be precise. If your goal is to keep going to the gym, tell them, this is not a moment to carry shame. No. Tell them right in that group, I'm looking for someone that will help me to reach my goal. Just say I'm looking for an accountability partner. And you'll be so surprised. Because right now, the brain doesn't have any track record. So what do? You need to find someone who has been showing up. Now you borrow that person's consistency. You're borrowing their faith. You see that? You're borrowing what they're capable, because the brain is looking for a track record. The brain cannot, trust you in this moment, because for 15 years you did not show up. For 5 years, for 1 year. So all those moments of breaking promises to yourself is rewiring your brain. It's rewiring your brain. So at this level now, the wire or the things that you fed the brain is there. But you need to create a new neural pathways. How would you create that? Find an accountability partner. Someone that has already proven to themselves and to people that when they say they're going to show up, they show up. Look for an accountability partner. I'm going to give you an example. For me, for instance, I like running. I would like going to the gym. But last year was very challenging for me because of, my environment, the kids, and all those things, right? That's why I said life will be lifing. It's called life for a reason. Movement. It's not because I said I was going to go to the gym that life will say, okay, let me stop so that she can reach her goal. It doesn't work like that. If it works like that, that means you're no longer on this earth. So life will be doing things to see how are you building yourself. So last year when I said I was going to go to the gym and life was there doing its own thing, it was hard for me. You know what I did? I went on Facebook. Let me tell you, the shame that we go through is not for us to just say, I am ashamed. No. Let that shame awaken a part of you that say, I'm tired of this thing. Look in you what you're capable of doing and what you're not capable of doing yet. And find someone. Tell them. If you're ashamed, let that shame lead you to find someone and say, you know what? I know I'm capable of doing this, but for right now, I cannot. I want you to be my accountability partner. I want you to be that person that can help me until I build that momentum. You need to build that momentum for 3 months. 7 days, no. I mean, you've practiced this self-sabotage for 15 years. 7 days of momentum is nothing. Let's be honest. That's why when you join those challenges of, 7 days, 21 days, if you don't keep doing the same thing over and over and over and over and over and over again for 3 months, even 6 months, it's a lifetime thing. Let me tell you, I'm not going to lie to you. I used to think, okay, 21 days and then it worked. No, I've been in challenges like that. Because you've been, showing up for 21 days and the 22nd day, you're like, okay, let's take a break. Once you take a break, you fall back. You don't give a break to yourself. So what is the trick here? Tell the brain, we need to, tell yourself, find an accountability partner. Go on YouTube. Tell yourself, I need the other problem coach. It's like you've been saying, we feel a little bit alone without person to help. Yes. But that's also, let me tell you, it's a lie. There are a lot of people there. Let me tell you, once you're ready, I'm going to give you examples. Once you're ready, Papa, you good? The kids are waking up. No school today. So once you have decided to show up, everything that God has placed there for you, they'll start showing up. Let me tell you, I know everything is working together for your good. I'm not going to lie to you. Everything. That's why they say when the student is ready, the teacher will show up. When the student is ready, the teacher will show up. Even this Saturday, one of the speakers, he said it again. When the student is ready, the teacher will show up. And who is this teacher? The teacher is the people that surround you. The teacher is someone like me, like a coach, a book, a program, a YouTube show that you're watching, or a live like this. But the problem with us is we treat every moment as a regular moment. We are not able to identify our season. Remember, I told you the event that I went to on Saturday, they all had their broken moments. If some years back they were told that they're going to use their story, oh my goodness, it was packed. The place that it was in Agonies here in Boston, the place was packed. So yes, we do have people that are ready to help us. Everything that we need on this earth to propel us into our next season is here. But the thing is, most people, you're treating moment like this as information. And you know why? You're treating moment like this as information because when you come, it's giving it's tingling your ego is tingling or tickling rather, your brain, your how do we say this? You are making yourself believe that you're doing something. So that satisfaction that you're getting from it, the satisfaction you're getting from being on my live, is making you feel like you're on task or you are on track. I may use the wrong word, but you know what I mean, right? So that satisfaction is what is making you stuck. After the satisfaction, what are you doing after that? So I was telling you, if you have practiced self-sabotage for many years, there is a way to stop it. People believe that they can stop self-sabotage. You can. How? First, know the pattern. Know the signal. Before you physically stop showing up. Emotionally, mentally, spiritually, what are some of the things that show up? Read yourself. Know yourself. So that when it's about to get to that time, say no. That's the first thing. Know the signals. Don't give in into the signals. Know the signals. Know your signals. Self-awareness is the key to self-improvement. Self-awareness. Be honest with yourself. If you can only show up for 3 days, tell yourself that's all I can do. Be aware of it. The second thing is what? Invest. What do I mean by invest? Resources. What do I mean by resources? Go on social media pages. If you don't have anyone like that in your community, go on Facebook. Go to the library. These are the extreme. You need to go to the extreme. Really, if you're tired of this life, go to the extreme. You can go to the library. Write a post, put it there. Who cares if people make fun of you? You know you have a goal to reach. Right now you are dormant. You need to wake yourself up. So whatever you're going to do, because you know that you deserve more than the life that you're living right now. People that self-sabotage, they have problem with finances. Because you are not building that momentum. You only show up for 3 days. You know, maybe you bought that digital product. You know that you're going to be great. You're going to be one of the best in digital products. So you bought the course. You only did it for 3 days and you already got tired because you did not see the results. So you already got tired. Not everybody understands the law of invisible results. Even though the result is not showing up physically, something is happening. The person to sustain that result is being built. You're being built in the place of invisible. But you're rushing to see the result right now. Nothing happens like that. And nature teaches us that nothing happens like that. You don't plant a seed today expecting for the seed to grow. That's why we are eating food that are not healthy, because we're not patient. So that's the first thing, okay? Know what you're capable and what you're not capable. What you're not capable of, once you identify that, find an accountability partner. Go on in your community, at the library, your friends. But guess what? If you have friends and you're dealing with self-sabotage, maybe they themselves, they have that issue. Be part of groups of success people that are successful. Be part of them. People that work together, okay? You're learning from them. So find a group of people that are successful to be part of. It's not hard to find people like this. And as I was sharing my example with you, I went on Facebook. I wanted to be consistent in going to the gym. So I went on Facebook. There is a group of mom. I wrote it in there. I said, I'm looking for an accountability partner to help me, somebody that goes to the gym at this time. If you can, get together. One person responded, but they were not able to be, she responded not as if she wants to be my accountability partner, but she responded to give me the resources that I need, like the information that I need. I need to wake my daughter up. She has work. What time is it? I need to wake my daughter up. She has work, but she forgets. Okay. Okay. So I'm going to stop here. The first thing that I was saying is what? Identify your level. Number 2 is find an accountability partner. But let me finish my story so that you know what I'm talking about. Because the God has placed people on this journey to help you to reach your goal. Okay. So she only gave me the information that she knew. The same day I was going to get something, to buy something. And then I saw one of my students. By the way, before I went for my certification, I used to teach African dance. That's what for many, many years. And I saw her. I'm like, wait, but I know her as someone who likes to go to the gym. She likes working out. But so follow the pattern here. The same day that I posted in Facebook that I need an accountability partner, nobody was able to assist at that time. The same day, I went to a grocery store and I saw my friend. I'm like, my student, my client. I'm like, wait. I said, wait, I know you like going to the gym. I'm looking for an accountability partner, someone that will hold my hand until I'm consistent. And then I show her the post that I just posted maybe like 30 minutes ago. I show her that post. And she said, of course, let's do this. So 5 a.m. when she's going to the gym, she sent me a message. Are you up? Let's go. I'm already there. You see that? That's what it is. When you're tired, when the student is ready, the teacher will show up. When the student is ready, the teacher will show up. So what is that goal that you want to reach? Are you tired yet? If you're tired, you should have done something about it. We only say we are tired, but we are not tired enough. Are you tired yet? What are you doing about it? What have you decided to do about it? Self-sabotage will cost you your entire life. Sabotaging on what you're capable of doing will make you live a life of mediocre. Let's be honest. The brain is wired that way. Now, how do you help to rebuild a new neural pathways? Find someone who has done it. Tell the person your problem, not your whole entire life. No, tell them, I know I'm capable of doing this, but I'm not showing up. I've seen you setting goals and showing up, and I can see the results. How did you do it? Find someone, guys. Find someone. Desperate situation will need desperate, investment. Okay? I've lived this life and I know the consequence. I know the shame. And now on top of that, if you're a parent, what are you giving to your children? How long? Most of you keep, I want to talk with you. Yes, ma'am. Yes. I'll send you a DM. So most of you, that's where you are right now. I told you, the event that I went on Saturday. Oh, let me tell you this. This event that I went on Saturday, toward the end of the event, the star of Shark Tank, his name is what? Robert Hedjavik. He's the handsome one on the show. Very handsome gentleman, by the way. Shark Tank, not the bald one. Toward the end of when he was being asked question, he said, I'm glad I went. The struggle is real. Let me tell you. He said this. Not everybody that bought the ticket is here today. He said at least 50% of people that bought the ticket didn't show up. And he also said at the end of this, a percentage of people will not use the information that was given here. Can I tell you something? The day before the event, I didn't want to go. I'm not going to lie to you. I didn't want to go. All the excuses that I could make, I didn't want to go. Oh my goodness. That's the pattern of self-sabotage. That is the pattern of self-sabotage. But you know what I did? Man, I said it out loud. My daughter didn't know that I was going anywhere because I knew that there will be a moment where I'll feel like I don't want to show up. So if I tell her and I don't show up, what am I teaching my children? Friday, I told her, I'm going to this event, but I don't know if I want to go, because my excuse was what? I have two other, 7 and 6. And she started making plans. She's like, Mommy, what time is your event? The event starts at 7 a.m. It's in Boston. She said, okay, we're going to have breakfast at this time. So she made plan for how she's going to help me to take care of her brothers. Meanwhile, in my mind, I already, one moment. KK, can you please start the car? Yeah, I know, start the car, sweetie. Okay, so she's ready to go to work. So yes, please send me a DM. Let's hop on the DM and then we're gonna do that. Who says sorry? Sorry, coach, we don't hear you well. With the I'm sorry. Okay. Okay, I'm sorry about that. Okay. I think this is better now, right? So, like I said, she said, we're gonna wake up at this time. We're gonna have this for breakfast and all that. I end up going to the event and I'm glad I beat my brain. I'm glad I beat my brain. And then he spoke about it at the event, that all the tickets that were sold, only 50% show up. Guess what? If I didn't show up, I would train that guilt, that shame. Sometimes, if you know this is what you're wired to do, because that's how you train yourself, find someone. My daughter is my accountability partner. All the excuses that I was making in my head not to go, she debunked it. I didn't tell her that. She debunked it. Thank you. Bambino, it's been a while. These are the people that were there. Day one, I told myself I was going to go live for 100 days. Bambino, oh my God, I'm so happy to see you. Bambino was one of the people that used to show up on my live. I said I was going to go live for 100 days. And here we are. I stopped counting how many days I've been coming on live, but I know we passed 100 days long time ago. Bambino, thank you. My daughter is ready to go to work. I need to take her to work. You said you need to talk to me. Please send me a DM. Sweetie, I'm ready. I'm going to put on my jacket. Okay? Please don't give up. Find an accountability partner. You are meant for more. I don't like accountability words. I don't like motivation words, because I have heard this so much that they're used to it. This is a moment of transformation. Guess what? If I didn't go to that event, the shame that I'll be carrying. So what is that thing that you want to do? And you know that if you don't do it today, in the evening, you start being ashamed again. You start playing the same record. What is that one thing? My goal, the reason why I show up, even when I don't feel like showing up, I think about the old me, the 2009 me that has repeated pattern of self-sabotage. And then I get up. So if you're really tired of this, send me a DM and let's work together. You don't want to repeat your year 2026 in 2029. Most of you, you're living your past in your present. Most of you, you're living years before 2026. You're repeating 2020, 2021, 22, 23, 24, 25, but 2026. Guess what? Our future is built in the present. So meaning that in 2027, 28, 29, 2030, you're going to play catch up. You're leaving 2026 in 2030. Okay? I know this feel like a little rush. My daughter has to go to work. I'm going to take her to work. I might come again on live, but this is what I do. I've done this. I've helped a lot of people to break the pattern with their identity being restored, expression and impact. Identity, expression. What is expression? Your purpose, what you're capable of doing, and impact. You start seeing the result. Now you have an impact. Yes, you can stop self-sabotage. I love you all. Have a wonderful day, and remember you matter. Never give up. Remember you matter. My daughter just sent me a message. Bye, everybody.